Hi, my name is Chris, an academic counselor in the College of Health and Human Services Advising Center. Today, I'll be showing you how to make Google Calendar into a digital planner for your classes and other assignments. So first, we'll go to Google Calendar by going to the Google and typing in Google Calendar. Once we're here, it should look pretty blank if you've never used it before. And we'll go ahead and start creating our calendars by first going to the Settings menu and then creating new calendars under Add Calendar. So we'll hit Create New Calendar, and we're going to type in 3 different calendars. The first being assignments, the second being personal calendar, unless you have a personal calendar already, and the third being classes. You can always make more calendars as well if it works better for you, but these are the 3 that we should need just right off the bat. So once we refresh the page, these should be available here. And the first thing we'll do is we'll go to assignments, scroll down a little bit, go to all day event notifications, and then add it twice, one event or one notification one day before, one notification 1 week before. Then we'll go back to our actual calendar. You can change the colors if you like. And then we'll start with our classes. So I've got my sample class wish list here, which I'll go ahead and input. And so the first thing we do is we're going to go to the first day of instruction for the spring 2021 semester, which is going to be January 21st. Now, instruction starts on Thursday, so we have to make sure with our Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, we're not adding the classes in the day before. And so we'll start now by going with my Bio 10 lecture class, which starts at 8 a.m. So we'll go ahead and just start that there. Now you'll notice the assignments calendar defaulted first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck these now. So that way it defaults to my classes just for simplicity. So we'll go from 8 to 9. You can change it to 8:50 if you want, or you can leave that 10-minute buffer. If it's easier, we'll put Bio 10 lab or lecture, excuse me. And then we'll go here to the repeat custom. My class is Tuesday, Thursday, and then the final day of instruction before consultation days is going to be May 5th. So now if we save that, it's going to repeat every week until that day. Now for our Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, like my Com3 class, I'm going to go ahead and just start it on the Fridays. So we'll go from 11 to 12, Com3, and then we'll have it repeat, same thing, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all the way until May 5th. And as you'll see, it'll default to the Monday, Wednesday for the next few weeks. Now we'll go ahead and skip a little bit as I insert the rest of the classes. So now, with all our classes inserted, we can now see what our class schedule is for the week, including our night class on Tuesdays, that way we don't forget about it. So with that now, the next thing we're going to do is bring back our assignment calendar. And so we're going to input these a little bit different. Now, what I recommend is you go through your syllabi at the beginning of the semester and you insert all assignments as all day events. So if on Tuesday, the 26th, we're going to have, we'll say, our assignment for Bio 10, which is our first discussion paper. We'll go ahead and do that. Click on the time, change to all day. And now, because we defaulted assignment to have 2 notifications earlier, this calendar is going to give you a notification, especially if you have the Google Calendar app, 1 week in advance and 1 day in advance. So that way you'll never forget when your assignments are due. And so we could do that for a couple more days. We can insert here, we have our University 1 lecture, our research paper due. And I recommend just going through and inserting things for the entire semester. There's a couple other things we need to do. For example, on March 29th, spring break is going to start. So we need to make sure that we delete the events for just this week. And so we can go through and we can just delete this event. So that way we know we don't have class that week. vary that. Finally, if you're like me and you just like to know where you are at all times, you can use your personal calendar to insert other dates as well. So if, for example, you're working Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 1 to 5, you can insert that just so that way you know you're working. And you can have it repeat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll just do it to the end of the semester as well. And if you have a lunch date with your boo, you can put that as well. Make sure to change it to personal calendar so it doesn't give you a notification. And whenever you do this, you always want to make sure you change it to all events. And now you got a pretty good idea of when things are going to be due, and you've got automatic notifications of assignments. So that'll definitely help you keep track of when you have classes, help keep you organized. And it's pretty simple. And you can also subscribe to calendars like our AC/DC calendars, or in this example, the University Registrar's Important Dates and Deadline Calendar, where you can just click here. It'll prompt you to add the calendar. And then now if we go back to our calendar here and refresh, we'll now have the Fresno State University Registrar calendar, which will now prompt us with important dates and deadlines. So we know class will be on campus will be closed on this date. February 18th is going to be the last day to add a class with permission. And so this will help make sure that you never forget an important date, a class time, or an assignment. And it can be done pretty quickly. Make sure to hit like or subscribe. And I'm just kidding. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.